Hi guys, this is Tim Lomax. I'm here to tell you about the Flip2Freedom Academy and how it helped me. A little bit about myself. I've been interested in real estate for a pretty long time. My parents are both realtors, and I started wanting to actually invest in real estate and do fix and flips. Well, looking into it, I found out that it's going to be a lot of money, and so I actually fell upon Sean Terry's Flip2Freedom podcast in his academy that he offered. So I started looking into that, started learning the ways of how to do deals with no money and without using my credit, and that was exactly what I needed. Just to be honest with you, I moved to Arizona. I just got out of the military, and at that time, there was no government jobs, no state jobs, so I couldn't get a job with Border Patrol or anything like that. So I was pretty much jobless, and bills were stacking up. So I did what I could. I refinished furniture, and resold it on Craigslist. I through the yellow books, house to house, the yellow pages books. I worked for the census. I tried selling meat door to door. Tried selling windshields door to door, just doing what I could to make ends meet. Well, I actually found a job with a defense contractor, which now barely covered the bills, and I had to work. I'm working 60-hour weeks just to cover the bills. So really, I had no money, and by all means, I have no credit. So if you're in that position, still be excited because you could do this. Listening to the podcast, getting involved with the academy, getting involved with his Facebook account. Um, so a little bit on how this helped me was my wife and we were trying to get pregnant for 4 years, and we couldn't get pregnant. And I don't know if you've ever been in that situation, but it's really difficult. Um, so we went to the doctor, and the fertility doctor said, "Look, you're not going to get pregnant on your own, and for you to get pregnant, you're going to have to do fertility treatment, which is going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars." Well, I didn't have thousands and thousands of dollars. We're barely covering our bills as it is. I'm already working 60-hour weeks. So we'll get back to that in a minute. So I started doing the marketing. I did the yellow letters that Sean talks about. I did the bandit signs that he talks about, and the internet marketing. Now, I couldn't afford a lot, so I couldn't afford, pay-per-click, big old campaigns. I couldn't afford these 40,000 postcards as Sean's mailing out. And I couldn't afford, hundreds and hundreds of bandit signs, but I did what I could. I wrote the yellow letters. I wrote the bandit signs. I put them out, made sure that they got out. And, it took me a long time. I was struggling and struggling, not getting anything. And it was over a year. And this one mail piece I put out, I got a call from this older lady. She had a property. It was listed before, and it wasn't selling. It was listed for 6 months. So I said, okay, well, there's some motivation. And I asked her, well, how much do you owe on this property? And she said, well, we don't owe anything on this property. So I said, okay, there's the equity that I need. So I went and met her at the property. Well, the husband wasn't as motivated. He didn't want an all cash offer for, 50 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on the dollar. So I asked him, well, how about if myself or one of my buyers were to rent this property from you for a period of time and buy the property at the end of that time? Is that something you'd be interested in? And he said, you know what, that could work out for me, And I said, I could be able to give you the price that you need, and it'll sell at the end of the time. So we agreed and went into the contract, got a contract with him. It was contingent upon me finding a tenant buyer and assigning my position over for them. And I collect the option deposit as my fee, and it was going to be $3,500. Well, I started marketing the property, and within a month, I found a buyer. Well, this buyer was a little more savvy, and he said that he actually wanted to do seller financing. And I said, okay, well, what did you have in mind? Well, he said, well, I need a lower price, which was fine because there wasn't going to be rent credits, which fluctuated the price up. Instead of putting $3,500 down, I want to put $5,000 down. Well, at this time, I got really excited. So I raced back and I called up the seller and I said, look, how about if we did seller financing? And instead of, the sell price just being 110, it'll be 110 plus 7%. Well, your end price, your end purchase price, the end profit price for you is going to be around 140 when all is said and done. Well, they agreed to it, so I raced back to the buyer, and I was real excited. And I said, you know what? My partner agreed, aka the buyer. My partner agreed, and you got yourself a deal. Well, so instead of collecting $3,500, I collected $5,000. So I was real excited, you know. My wife was really excited. Well, to get back to what I was explaining before, that fertility doctor said, you know what, this is going to cost thousands of dollars. You're going to need it to get pregnant. Well, now because of this deal, because of what the Flip2Freedom Academy taught me, because of what Sean Terry has done to help me, I was able to have enough money to pay for that treatment. And ultimately, now my wife and I are pregnant. And this is the sonogram of our little baby that we created, and that we were able to pay for the treatment for that miracle. And it was a true blessing, and I still get choked up about it. And I'm ever so grateful for all of that Sean Terry's done. So if you ever have doubt, push the doubt down. Blow through the obstacles like Sean Terry teaches. And most of all, just get the marketing done. Start talking to people. Find out their wants, find out their needs, and put their wants and needs in front of yours and figure out ways to help them out. All cash offer didn't help these people out, but seller financing did help them out. And because of that, I was rewarded more than just $5,000. I was rewarded, my wife was rewarded with, you know, a pathway, a roadway, a vehicle that now we can say that we're pregnant. Now we can say that we're going to have a baby, our own offspring, and that's an ever true blessing. So once again, Sean, I am ever so more grateful for you, ever so blessed because of you and because of the podcast that you put out. You put out so much information that someone like me that really has no money at all, you know, thousands of dollars in debt, credit card debt, just thinking there's no way out. You created a way out. You created a light. And my wife and I, we said, if this baby is a boy, we don't know the sex yet, but if this baby is a boy, we're going to name him Luke. And what that translates to is light. And this baby is definitely going to be the light to all the darkness that we were in. And luckily, we found a vehicle that brought us through that darkness and brought us to the light. So once again, thanks again. Watch the podcast, do the academy, and just get it done. And thanks so much. Bye.